So when we're doing a banded chest fly, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to set up your bench such that the back part of your bench, kind of where the wheels would be if it has wheels, kind of that back bar, is in line with whatever you set your bands up with. And so I attach my bands to this pole, this part of my rack right here. So I'm gonna make sure that the wheels or the back bar of this bench are lined up with this. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna move it 1 foot forward. And so I want you to start with that and then move it 1 foot forward. Something like this will work quite well. Next, when you're setting up the band height, something like roughly waist height is gonna work great. But once you get into the exercise, you might see that it needs to go up or down a little bit because you want it in line with your shoulders like this. Next, you're gonna pick your bench up such that it is upright. And then you are going to grab a hold of your bands and you're gonna sit down here. Now, obviously it would be better if both of the bands were the same color, but I misplaced my other red band, and I do recommend that you guys start with 2 of these thin red bands. From here, with bent elbows, you're going to pull forward, straightening out the arms as you go until the hands touch. Slight elbow bend in a nice circular fly motion, big stretch back here, elbows are slightly bent, and as you fly your arms together here, you're straightening them at the same time. As you'll notice, this part where your hands are together is the hardest part, or very likely the hardest part, and that's okay, it should be. Now, if you have these, they're called fat grips. They're in the FAQ at the bottom under the additional equipment list. They're not mandatory, but if you do have them, you can attach them to the band, and it's actually gonna make working with the band a little bit more comfortable because it gives you something very like spherical, circular to hold on to instead of the band, which can be a little bit uncomfortable in your palm. And so essentially what that does is it turns it into this little handle. And so imagine that I had the other one on. As you're pressing, you have this nice handle to press into instead of just using the band, even though working with just the band is gonna be just fine. Remember that when you're on the way back, you want your elbows to bend a little bit, even though it's a circular motion. And then as you're pulling your arms together, they should straighten out until your arms touch. And that's pretty much it. If you have a question, if you don't have a setup like this, let me know. I probably gave some advice in the exercise description itself, so please read that before asking a question, but ask a question if you have it and let's sort it out.